Hello, my name is Lou Redman, meditation artist and life coach, and today I want to share with you 5 paradoxes to live by. If you've watched the show Seinfeld, you know George Costanza's character in the show is known for a track record of lost jobs, failed relationships, and just has a general difficulty with life. And then in one episode, they have George do the opposite of what he would normally do. And what happens to George is that everything changes. He gets the job of his dreams. He has this thriving relationship, and overall, things are just start going well for him. And this silly comedy points to a few things. The first is that the world is backwards. Mark Twain said that if you find yourself on the side of the majority, take time to pause and reflect. And what George's character does, if only for an instance in a silly comedy, is he helps us, or he encourages us to question our habits. If insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, then it's up to us to make a change. And I use this story to invite us into our discussion today because often it's those things that might seem opposite that are actually true. And now we're getting into the world of paradox. As Adyashanti says, the closer you get to paradox, the closer you get to truth. So I want to share with you some paradoxes that I think can help you live your life by. Number one, structure brings freedom. Freedom is doing what you want when you want. True or false? If you have been out of a job or have retired, you know that this definition is false, that having a lot of time on our hands can actually be really difficult. It's tough to make decisions all day. Structure creates ease, focus, and direction. If I told you to draw a picture, that might feel overwhelming. But if I told you to draw a picture of a blue animal, instantly you have ideas of what that might look like or where you would start. That's because boundaries breed creativity. The freedom that we're really seeking is an inner freedom. And let's look to the people that spend all their life seeking and finding inner freedom at a monastery. If you look at monks, go to a monastery, what do you see? The same schedule every day. Wake up 4:30, meditate, eat breakfast, meditate, clean, eat lunch, meditate. The same schedule every day. The most structured place lends to the most expansive states. And we access this freedom by becoming a disciple of the self. This is the self-discipline that we must cultivate if we want to allow ourselves to access this freedom. As Elizabeth King says, process saves us from the tyranny of our intentions. Having things mapped out, having our schedule planned, and sticking to it allows us to surrender and find more of the fulfillment that we're seeking. Number two, doing hard things makes life easy. Doing easy things makes life hard. I saw an ad on a bus the other day that said, diets don't work long term, surgery does. Culture conditions us to seek comfort and deceives us that it will actually make us happy when it often leads us further away from the contentment that we seek. The proper amount of stress helps us grow, and the comfort we find after stress creates fulfillment. Think about going to that workout that's really challenging, and you get back, take a shower, and you can just relax on the couch. You couldn't have that same feeling without the workout. I was working with a client who had told me that when he would overcome his fear of public speaking, he felt such joy, such rapture afterwards. And he was telling me that he didn't want to feel the fear anymore. And I told him, well, it sounds like you don't want to feel that rapture. You don't want to feel what's on the other side. We have to feel the fear or feel whatever it is to courageously move forward to receive what is on the other side. We have to actually create some stress in order to grow. We are constantly coming upon edges. And so it's important to think about what are the edges in your life and how can you just go a little bit further. You don't have to jump off the edge, but we're constantly finding what is our edge. How can I bring a little bit more stress? Because that's actually going to allow me to continue to grow. Number 3, the only way to free your pain is to feel your pain. I haven't sat in an ayahuasca ceremony, but from what I can gather, a main directive is that if you face something that is light or something that is dark, to go towards the dark. Why this counterintuitive advice? We have to face our demons, not run from them. The Stoic wisdom says the obstacle is the way. Going through your darkness, you come across the other side and you find the gift that you're here to share with the world. As Robert Bly puts it, the wound is where your genius lies. If you don't bring light to your shadows, they will rule you unconsciously. Don't spiritually bypass thinking that if you just think positive thoughts and stay in the light, that things will be fine. Go into your darkness. They have something to teach you. Imagine like the yin-yang symbol, that you go into the darkest point, go down, 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 until you find that speck of light. You find the gift, and you come out the other side into the light to give your gift to the world, all the while until you find that next challenge, which is often that next darkness to go back into. Father Thomas Keating states that the spiritual journey is one humiliation after the other. Trust the fall. Number 4, give and you shall receive. I know you've heard this one before. This paradox makes sense when we're coming at it from a non-dual lens. If there is no separation, then really what we're giving is to ourselves. I heard recently, I forget the teacher offhand, that a beggar is a mirror of our abundance. That it's showing us the opportunity to see that we are this beggar, we are this person who's asking for money, and to give that as if we are giving it to ourselves. And in Buddhism, in the practice of merit that dana is, it's also considered almost like a saving, because if we really get back what we give, then that energy, that karma is going to come back around at some point. Now, what's important is that we give without expectation. We give from this truth and this fullness of the space that we feel we're in. Now, I know a lot of people have a tough time with giving with money. And I want to offer something, if you have a tough time with money, is to see your money as not your money, but God's money. That it comes to you for a purpose. And your job is to let God's money in and out, and to not hoard, to be a vessel that it can create more blessings in the world. Receive it and give it as a blessing. Look for ways to be generous. I promise it will come back around. But don't do it for just that reason. Number 5, you are already whole, perfect, and complete, and you have work to do. Kabir Helmensky writes, "What is most human is not guaranteed by our culture, but given in potential. A person must work in order to become human." So you're like, Lou, what are you telling me? I am the divine image of God right now, and I have work to do? Yes, we have work to do. And the question is, are we working from a place of lack or from a place of devotion? It's common in self-improvement to work from a place of not enough. And this idea of self-help is flawed because we can never get enough if there's always a hole, if there's always something missing. The antidote from working from not enough is to work and do your work from a place of devotion. Make every act in service of a greater good, of your fulfilling a potential. And as you do this, what happens is that each stage is enough. Each stage is fulfilling in itself. And like an onion, as you will go through, you just peel back more and more layers to connect with that true essence, that inner goodness that is always there, that can never go away. We just do the work to realize it more, to touch it more, to feel it more. Number 6, the best criticism of the bad is a practice of the better. Now, I don't know if this is even a paradox, but I love this quote. It's by Richard Rohr. And what it points to is that what we do to ourselves. Again, it's that non-dual lens. David Hawkins used to joke that I don't go to peace rallies, they're too dangerous. And that is because what you show opposition to creates opposition in yourself. And this is not to say that we don't stand up for injustice. We just don't play the same game. If you look at Martin Luther King or Gandhi, they are so renowned because they practiced nonviolence in action and speech. Martin Luther King did not say, let's hate these people. What he said was, I have a dream. And then he painted us a picture of possibility. Gandhi said, be the change in the world you wish to see. Jesus said to love your enemies, for they know not what they do. Therefore, we can have compassion with the people that we disagree with and work to be an agent of the better. Darkness is the absence of light. Don't shun your darkness. Be the light. Keep embodying that thing. I was working with a client who said, Lou, I'm always the positive person in the house, but my partner and my son, they're always negative. What do I do? And I told her, just keep being that positive. Just keep being who you are, embodying that quality. And maybe it takes a while, but eventually that energy will start to have its impact on the people that you're coming across. Recap, 5 paradoxes to live by. Number 1, structure brings freedom. Number 2, doing hard things makes life easy. Doing easy things makes life hard. Number 3, the only way to free your pain is to feel your pain. Number 4, give and you shall receive. Number 5, you're already whole, perfect, and complete, and you have work to do. Number 6, the best criticism of the bad is the practice of the better. How do you put these paradoxes into action? Set up a structure for yourself, your schedule, and stick to it. Get a plan, get a vision, hire a coach, have some sort of accountability, and let yourself surrender into that structure and make it a practice and a habit each day. Number 2, find your edge. And if you don't know what that is, that's good information for you. Seek where your edges are and ask yourself, how can I move 10% beyond the edge? Ask yourself the question, what am I not willing to feel? Often these bring us into those places to feel the difficult things that we're often avoiding or masking by the myriad of addictions or Netflix or whatever our coping mechanism is. What am I not willing to feel? And make your intention to feel that. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is the antidote to any sense of lack, to any sense that there is scarcity in the world. Feel the fullness. Eckhart Tolle said that gratitude is the foundation of all in abundance. And so I know that this is something that's often said because it works and it's important to keep practicing. Give a little bit more than you're comfortable with. Maybe 10%, maybe 20%. Give in a way that's like, oh, wow, did I really just do that? That creates just a little feeling inside. That's when you know you're at your edge of your giving. Don't be a hater of the bad. Be an advocate of the better. Embody what you stand for and wear it on your sleeve without shaming or making other people wrong. I thank you so much for listening. Let me know how these landed for you, which paradox feels like something that you want to work on and practice, and any other thoughts that you have. I'll look forward to seeing you on another post soon. Much love.